What is up guys, Wraec here with a new video, and today with the promised Berial PvP video we are going to try and build a zoo comp. So, why Berial? Well, basically in my last Stargaze Summon video, which you should definitely check out, was quite insane. We got Berial to Supreme Plus. I thought it would take longer, we just happened to be lucky, so now he's a Supreme Plus. And what he does is, with his exclusive equipment, he summoned minions, he summoned silhouettes of enemies when they are isolated for a bit. So that actually makes it quite interesting to play minion build with him. I got his weapon to +9, wanted to go +10, but sadly ran out of temporal essence, and the upgrade to +10 is nice. Reduce the energy by 40 every time those silhouettes damage an enemy, but you don't necessarily need it, so I thought it would be okay. We have Bella at +10 to just give some buffs to the summon with the highest attack. We'll see if that is a shadow eventually. Probably one of our minions though, and of course we get the permanent shield there. And then we use Coco because that is also big shield from her full energy ult. Damien I thought for a bit of haste for our non-summoned minions, not for the summoned minions, doesn't work, but for our non-summoned minions to get their ults a bit quicker would be nice. And then for the last slot we are a bit flexible on that. With Granny we of course get a 4-hero Wilder Aura, very good, but not very much damage. It's a bit tanky, but not a whole lot of damage. So that is actually one possibility. The other possibility would be to go with Skalita, outlast the enemy, then deal a ton of true damage. Could be pretty cool. Is also a 4-hero Wilder Aura, pretty nice. And then EIRONN is one option that I thought of. One very interesting option that brings us to a 3-hero lineup would be Alsa. We tried that before. Was actually pretty insane in terms of damage. I would say we hop into there. It's a bit of a meme team, so we'll have to check out what we do here. If we attack a very tanky team, we'll probably have to run more damage, so that is a thing we should consider. So what do we have here? We have Damien and Hewan in this. This is, for example, one of those teams where I would say it is one of the tanky teams. So I guess if we don't have enough burst here, we will kind of have a problem. So that is the lineup. I set that up before. I guess we can't really use Granny here, but Coco should be enough to tank for the moment. So now we'll have to think about who we use. We can use Alsa, we can use Skalita. I guess both of those versions would be fine. But we'll have to decide on one. For now, I would say we go with Alsa. I kind of like the option that she gives us to just put some rocks in the middle here, separate the enemies, let them run inside and outside. But this map overall pretty disadvantageous for us because this is very tight. So the enemies will be a bit concentrated, so we don't get many summons from Berial. Let's see how it works out if Coco can tank. So for now we get pulled together. We have one separated hero here already. Bam, that gives a shadow. Another shadow there. So we got our few separate heroes. Alsa suicided a bit. She just jumped in front of the Thoren ult. Thank you for that. That is definitely what I wanted. But we got a bit of separation in here, which is very good. Skalita coming down, not good. Not good at all, to be honest. Skalita is scary against this, to say the least. To say the least, she is pretty scary against this. Enemy lineup is already pretty decimated though, so that is quite fine. I think with the coming damage here, big ults from Florabelle, we are looking at a pretty good situation. Berial can chip down on the enemies. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but Berial is everywhere on the battlefield basically. He's hiding in the ground, then suddenly appears behind an enemy, then it chips away on an enemy, and yeah. So we got a ton of Florabelle damage here, we got a ton of Berial damage here. Overall, did Alsa do well? No, Alsa suicided in this situation. She just did the very unfortunate thing of jumping in front of a Thoren ult, which was not good. If she survived a bit longer, I think she would have been nice. So which other lineups do we have here? This is more of a classical EIRONN lineup. We can try to beat that, but I'm not confident. It's this map again. The thing is, I don't want to fight on this map. Can we have any other map, please? Doesn't really show the map. That's a strong lineup. This is a strong lineup, Rary. We can try it. If it's not the same map, I just hope it is the same map. And we have anybody that doesn't use this map? Riven maybe? Why do they all use this map? That's horrible. That's horrible. Maybe we can refresh. Because that puts the enemies so close together. We can attack Potato. Let's see what... It's the same map. Okay, against an Igor. I think Igor is interesting. Bit of CC there. We have Carolina there. I think we can just try Alsa again. I think could be fine. And I'm happy with the situation of Coco there. We could of course have used another artifact, but I think Confining Spell could give us a good amount of time. Coco dying early on. Not great. Really not great. We get our first ult there, instantly killing the Iron. Very, very nice. So Alsa did very well. Coco not so much. That is quite sad indeed. But you can see now Coco's in the situation where you want her. With like no hero there, except for the Igor that just jumped there. We have a very nice barrier to block everything off. And as long as she stays there, she can just start doing her ults, block everything up. And I think at this point she would basically solo this. There's so much going on here. Enemy doesn't know where to attack. Big AoE hits like this from Thoren can be a bit of a problem. But I think with this established Alsa there, with Berial still alive, even if Berial died he would revive. I think we are in a pretty good situation there. So this was quite interesting. Alsa to this map is a bit of a counter in some situations. As long as you are, well, I have to say lucky enough, or use a rainy attack to make her survive, and you get her in this wonderful position, right behind a big barrier, all enemies caged together in this melting pot there. You can just chip down on the enemies and you are in a very, very good position. Let's do another fight. Let's see, maybe let's try something else other than Alsa. There we have a Vala lineup. Oof. Vala lineup could be mean, because we're more tanky as a bunch at the beginning. We don't really have a tank there. We could of course bait it. We could try without Alsa and then just bait it. And we have another map. Interesting. So this is the situation. I just put it on Damien, the mark, and then we have Granny is probably pretty far behind. So we can place it like this, I think. And Coco will take the initial hits, so I think that will work out rather fine. Question is, of course, how brutal will this Vala be in the end? Do we get Sessia CC'd? Because Sessia CC, I mean, we are going a bit horde modes, and Sessia CC is kind of optimal against this. And we don't really have a lot of burst going for us at the beginning, which is a bit sad. I really overestimate the tankiness of Coco, I think. I think it's still alright. Usually Granny should be in front. Coco dies quite often, sadly, and that loses us a bunch. So here we exploit a bit of a weakness of Igor with Berial, because, well, Igor separates himself quite often. And, my god! Okay, I didn't say anything. They killed everybody. I think that was the absolute god tier Thoren ult. Can we see that? My god. Okay, Thoren just nuked the entire team. That was, yeah, that was something. So much for fun here. Is it more effective than an Iron comp? No. No, it isn't. Just if I go in there with the Iron comp and I attack the same people, I think we're just bound to win. So like here, I don't think we would have lost some fights like this. I don't think we would lose to any of this in the same way, which is very slow. It is maybe a meta, but I think it's lacking like one key hero to really keep it going. And that is a feeling that I had like all the time with Florabelle already, with Berial now too. I think there is another meta for Berial though. And this is something that I have to test a little bit with. Maybe a little spoiler. I think we could make a god tier sustained defense lineup. Just a defense lineup that makes it so the enemy can't kill you within the time frame. And I think Berial would be part of that. That is something that I will make a video on. Will be pretty cool, I think. I had some interesting results experimenting with it. But in terms of a lineup, to use Berial and Florabelle and really make a minion build, it's just very slow. It is very limited damage. It's not like you summon your hordes and they absolutely smash the enemies. You have like 5 times the damage from a good Iron lineup. You're not super tanky. You can get destroyed by a Thoren lineup, but just a Thoren. It wasn't even a lineup, it was just a Thoren. And if you fight a very good iron lineup pulls you together, it oftentimes just doesn't matter that you have 10 minions or something. It's not important because they have those AoE hits, they will hit adjacent tiles. Carolina itself, if we check out her abilities, we have those snowballs to attack enemies every 3 seconds, damage to control effect, and we use snowball witchery. Deals AoE damage to adjacent tiles with newly produced snowballs. So basically this hits everything within a 1 tile set range, and a 1 tile range is quite big. It's quite big. Let me show you that, because I think many people don't understand how much area really a 1 tile range is. If you have a hero that is just positioned here, it would be every single one of those tiles. So the only tiles that you wouldn't hit from the areas where I can set heroes would be those 3 and those 3 tiles if you have an enemy here. So you have a massive area that you hit with just a 1 tile range. And so that means Carolina is going to hit every single minion if we pull them together, with Iron even more so. So it is not ineffective against this lineup. It doesn't get less effective because most heroes that we have don't rely too much on single target. Maybe it will work against the Vala because she is single target. But then you have Thoren, you have Carolina, you have Iron, you have Innocence Arden, who are a massive AoE damage dealers, and we have all of those in the meta right now. And I think in this situation it is rather bad. I think if we have more single target, it would be interesting, but they don't really do that too much. Alsa, who is like a single target hero, it's still damaging adjacent enemies. So even though she apparently hits one single enemy, you still have the adjacent enemies hit. And I write that in so many skills that you sometimes feel like every single hero is an AoE hero, and that punishes such builds. So despite my best hopes, it's not really meta. Do I regret building Berial? No. I think it will be very interesting, but that is like another team. That is a different team, and we'll have to check that out. I wanted to use Brian in this, just go for full minion, but I don't really have a proper Brian build up, so yeah, that's the thing. Can be interesting, this lineup. In my opinion, it's like, if the Iron setup is S tier, then this is maybe like B, maybe A in some situations if the meta changes a bit, but probably won't be an S tier lineup. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll see us in the next one.